Have you ever wondered what makes a cookie taste so good? Or why ice melts into water? Or even what the air you breathe is made of? The answer to all these questions and so many more is chemistry. Chemistry is the science of stuff. That's right, it's the study of matter. Everything around you that has mass and takes up space. From the chair you're sitting on to the stars twinkling in the night sky, it's all matter. Chemistry helps us understand what this stuff is made of, what its properties are, and how it changes from one thing into another. It's not just for scientists in white lab coats, it's for everyone. Think of chemistry as the ultimate cookbook for the universe. It gives us the recipes for everything that exists. It tells us which ingredients to use, how to mix them, and what will happen when we do. Everything in the entire universe is made of incredibly tiny things called atoms. You can't see them with your eyes or even with a regular microscope. Millions and millions of atoms could fit on the tip of a pin. Think of them as the ultimate Lego bricks. You can use these bricks to build anything and everything you can imagine. Your body is made of atoms. The food you eat is made of atoms. The water you drink is made of atoms. These little particles are the fundamental building blocks of all matter. They are the starting point for everything. Now, what's inside an atom? It's not just a solid little ball. An atom has even smaller parts inside it. In the center is the nucleus. Now that we know about atoms, let's talk about elements. An element is a pure substance made up of only one type of atom. That's it. For example, a pure chunk of gold is an element because it's made up of only gold atoms, each with 79 protons. A balloon filled with helium is filled with an element because it contains only helium atoms, each with 2 protons. You can't break an element down into a simpler substance using chemical methods. It's already as simple as it gets. Think of elements as the different colors of Lego bricks in our universal set. There are many different elements in the universe. Scientists have discovered and named 118 of them so far. Elements are cool on their own, but things get really interesting when different types of atoms join together. When 2 or more different elements chemically combine, they form a compound. This isn't just a simple mixture like tossing different Lego bricks into a box. In a compound, the atoms are chemically bonded together to create a whole new substance with its own unique properties. Let's look at a famous example. Table salt. Its chemical name is sodium chloride. It's a compound made from 2 elements. Sodium chlorine. On its own, sodium is a soft silvery metal that explodes if it touches water. And chlorine on its own is a poisonous greenish-yellow gas. You definitely wouldn't want to eat either of those. But when one atom of sodium chemically bonds with one atom of chlorine, they form the white crystalline compound we sprinkle on our food. Another great example is water. The chemical formula for water is H2O, so we know that atoms can join together to form compounds. The smallest unit of one of these combinations is called a molecule. A molecule is a group of 2 or more atoms held together by chemical bonds. Think of it as a little team or squad of atoms that sticks together. Some molecules are very simple. For example, the oxygen we breathe isn't just single oxygen atoms floating around. It's usually found as an oxygen molecule, which consists of 2 oxygen atoms bonded together. Let's go back to our water example, H2O. A single molecule of water is made of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. The bonds are formed by the electrons in the outer part of the atoms. Atoms can share electrons or trade electrons with each other to become more stable. Molecules can range from very small to, honestly, incredibly large. Whether big or small, molecules are the actual particles that make up most of the substances we interact with every day. The science of change. What happens when you toast a piece of bread, light a match, or mix baking soda and vinegar? Well, you're watching a chemical reaction in action. A chemical reaction is a process that leads to the chemical transformation of one set of chemical substances to another. In simpler terms, it's when molecules break apart and atoms rearrange themselves to form new molecules. The original substances you start with are called reactants, and the new substances you end up with are called products. It's kind of like taking your Lego creations apart and using the same bricks to build something completely new. Let's look at the classic baking soda and vinegar volcano. The baking soda, which is a reactant, and vinegar, another reactant, mixed together. You see a lot of fizzing and bubbling. This is evidence of a chemical reaction. The atoms in the baking soda and vinegar are rearranging to form new products. Imagine trying to learn about 118 different elements without any organization. It would be a mess. Luckily, chemists have an amazing tool called the periodic table of elements. The periodic table organizes all the known elements in a clear chart. It's one of the most important tools in science. It lists elements in order of their atomic number, that is, the number of protons in the nucleus. It's arranged in rows, periods, and columns, groups. Elements in the same group have similar chemical properties. For example, helium, neon, argon. These are the noble gases. They're very unreactive and don't like to form compounds. Know one element in a group, and you can guess the others. Each element card shows a symbol, its atomic number, and its atomic mass. Dmitri Mendeleev developed it in 1869, even leaving gaps that predicted unknown elements. You don't need to go to a laboratory to find chemistry. It is literally all around you, every single second of every single day. Cooking is chemistry you can taste. When you bake bread, yeast performs a chemical reaction called fermentation. It consumes sugar and releases carbon dioxide gas, which makes the dough rise and gives bread its light, airy texture. When you grill a burger, the high heat causes the Maillard reaction, a complex series of chemical changes between amino acids and sugars that creates the delicious browned crust and savory flavor. Now take a deep breath. The air you just inhaled is a mixture of different gases, primarily nitrogen, about 78%, and oxygen, about 21%. Your body uses the oxygen in a crucial chemical reaction called cellular respiration. Inside your cells, oxygen reacts with glucose to produce the energy that powers everything you do. Thinking, walking, keeping your heart beating. The product of this reaction is carbon dioxide, which you then exhale. What about a simple glass of water? We already know its chemical formula is H2O. But water is also a fantastic solvent, which means it's great at dissolving other substances. It dissolves nutrients from your food and transports them to your cells, and dissolves waste products and carries them away. You might be thinking, this is all interesting, but I'm not going to be a chemist, so why does this matter to me? That's a great question. Understanding the basics of chemistry is important for everyone because it helps you make smarter, safer, and more informed decisions every single day. When you read the ingredients on a food label, you're looking at a list of chemical compounds. Cleaning supplies, for example, are all chemicals. Bleach, sodium hypochlorite, ammonia. Mixing them can produce toxic gas. Understanding how soap works helps you wash your hands properly to remove germs. Knowing the basics of how batteries work helps you understand the technology that powers your devices. This practical knowledge can help keep you and your family safe and healthy. Furthermore, many of the biggest challenges facing our world today are fundamentally chemistry problems. Developing clean energy sources, better batteries, and sustainable materials needs chemistry. Ultimately, learning chemistry is about curiosity, looking at a leaf, a puddle, or a pizza slice and understanding it on a deeper level.